Our next speaker is Dorota Blumczynska. Dorota is the Executive Director of the Immigrant and Refugee Community Organization of Manitoba. Please welcome Dorota.
Good morning. Oh, okay. You know, once you get up, it's a lot easier, but waiting down there is really hard. I'm incredibly honored and I am humbled to be here with you today, to be with these incredible people and to get 7 minutes of precious time to share with you my story. War is not a place. War is not a time in history. It is not a show of political power or will. War isn't an ocean away or a lifetime ago. War is a people, men, women, children, people who are struggling and fighting to protect their way of life, their values, their homes. But war changes those very same people, and every single life that is touched by war, it takes a hold of it and it never releases. For the last 11 years, I have been working in a post-conflict zone. IRCOM is home to over 500 refugees. They come from over 20 nations, and 2/3, so that's over 300, are children and youth. And whatever conflict and war they have fled from, it is in them. Every day I see it in the eyes of children. I see it in their quietness and their uncertainty. And it is a look that digs deep inside of me because it's an experience I share with them. 29 years ago, my family came to Canada under the Political Prisoners and Oppressed Persons class. We were not foreign investors. We were not economic migrants. We were not foreign-trained professionals. We were refugees. None of us spoke English. We had nothing but ourselves to offer. We came with empty hands and with empty spirits. We had fled a civil war, a revolution, and an occupied Poland. I was a small child when we boarded a train. We were going on holiday, and no one I had ever known had gotten travel authorization to cross a border for holiday. My mother had asked us to pack warm and cold clothing because she said mountain weather was unpredictable. And my grandparents stood on the platform, and I remember clearly seeing my grandmother weeping as I excitedly waved through the glass. My mother had sewn these small squares of fabric in our undergarments, and she had put heirlooms, rings, and whatever precious things she had in them. I was too young to understand what was happening. The train moved and hours passed, and we crossed a border and we were interrogated. We were in Czechoslovakia. The train moved again and more hours passed and we crossed another border. We were interrogated and we were in Germany. In each interrogation, the children were asked separately what was the purpose of the journey. And we gave a consistent story. We gave the story that we had been given, which was that we were going on holiday. But where we ended up was a migrant camp. 400 days passed, and we landed in Winnipeg. And despite the difficulty of this journey, I carry incredible privilege because my status is invisible. My foreignness is not betrayed by an accent or the color of my skin. You cannot see my faith in a scarf that is wrapped around my head. I can immediately belong. I can stand beside and I can listen to the conversations that monetize the value of refugees and of immigrants. I am present when our community talks about how much people will give back and how much they are going to contribute and what social services they are going to use and overuse and abuse. And I could stay silent. I could. But my silence would continue to uphold the oppression of immigrants and refugees. It would continue to hold up an oppression of the families that I am humbled to spend each and every day with. It would continue to uphold the oppression of my own children, our children. There is something, though, that I have in common with every person who arrives as a refugee, and that is hope. Hope is this incredible light that makes its way into the darkest places and into the darkest memories and into the darkest experiences that we can't ever shed. And it takes up home and it becomes ever present. And I see that in those faces and in those eyes as much as I see the things that people have fled. And what I see each and every day at IRCOM is ordinary people living the most extraordinary lives, choosing every day kindness and compassion, choosing courage, choosing conviction, choosing to forgive, choosing to heal, choosing to rebuild. And I am in awe when I see those choices. And I know that it takes an incredible human spirit. It takes something profound to have that courage. And it propels me to find my own courage. To stand here, hands trembling and stomach turning, and to reclaim my life, to own my migration story, to redefine my status. I am a human being. That is the gift I bring. And I am forever indebted to this community. I will forever be indebted to this country for welcoming us in, for letting us in, for keeping those borders open, for seeing that we had something worthwhile protecting. But more than all of that, I am indebted and thankful that you could see that our value surpassed the cost of our presence. And so I ask you to take the ordinary life that you have, much like my own, despite the dramatic entrance, but take that ordinary life and live it in the most extraordinary ways possible. Find the courage to own your life and your story. Find the courage to see the humanity in everyone who crosses paths with you. Break the silence that oppresses. Be the most awesome you that you can be. Take your ordinary life and live it in the most extraordinary ways possible. Thank you.